on.
Hello. Okay, let's try this. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting of PAC is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Lumen Going Access YouTube after the meeting. This meeting is being held in person at the location provided in this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person rather than virtual attendance accordingly. Zoom information is in the notice. The agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting under those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by the open meeting law. So we are all here, so we can have a simple roll call by looking around the table. Pete? Here.
Here.
Faith?
Here.
Pete? Joe? Oh, Joe is manager.
I'm here, but I don't really count.
Actually, you do. Yeah, we can.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, item number 2 on the agenda, public comments. Seeing no members of the public, either Zoom or otherwise. Any members of the committee have any comments they would care to share?
I do.
Yeah.
So,
Oh dear.
as we were just talking about, this is my last meeting. I'm not going to re-up for another term.
I'm sorry.
I would like to stay in touch with this crew. I might come to some meetings. I certainly want to. When is it shown on TV? What hour? You know?
Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Jesus. Oh, it's on just before the selectmen's meeting.
Yes. We planned it that way.
Mhm.
But with my health situation, there's no way I can commit to anything long term. And so I just like to say, I've been involved with public television and cable television in this town since 1986, when Ed Dextrays and I signed the first contract for cable.
Oh, really?
39 years ago.
Wow.
And I've served 4 terms on PAC. And I was just telling Joe that Kevin O'Hara and I made up the term PAC because it sounds like Pac-Man, which is a kid's game. Right. I thought it was a great joke. And trying to restore it because PAC and the cable commission kind of fallen apart for a while. And Tom Mason reorganized it. But I think this committee has been terrific to be on. I can't remember any kind of aggravations anyone had with each other. Almost goes the same direction. Shut up. And especially people like Steve and Joe Toll has been here 14 years now, huh? With the aggravation she's got from everybody. And 40 years ago, there was no cable television. You had your 4 channels that didn't come in very well, unless you had those ears and stuff. And now I predict by 2040, you'll have television on your wrist, like Dick Tracy. All voting is going to be done locally and nationally on your wrist. And technology is going to go berserk with what we're doing. And I won't be around to see it, so I don't have to say I was wrong. But I think what we're involved in is cutting edge of what's going on in this town. And more people are taking advantage of it. And personally, I just like to thank all of you guys and everybody I've worked with over these many years toward making this town communicate better than it would otherwise. This is the way we communicate now. It used to be town meetings, it's not anymore. It's by what we see on television.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work and devotion over the years. You've been wonderful to work with too.
On behalf of all of us, thank you, Pete. You had, my viewpoint tends to be either technical, strangely sometimes financial, sometimes slightly humorous, but you have a different view as what's known as talent, the people who are in front of the camera, with one of the most popular shows we've had and longest running. So my preference is you don't leave. If your health is you can only join by Zoom, I would be delighted to make sure we cater to you, to make sure that
Thank you.
happens.
I said I will try, but I don't know what's going to be in store. I won't be able to walk long periods of time. I'm left-handed, and so as of July 9th, I'm going to have to try to manipulate my life with my right hand.
People who are left-handed are the only people
In
who
the
are
right
in my
mind.
right mind.
Good job.
I told all my students that were left-handed get a 5-point bonus start of the year because of the difficulty they had. The desks used to be like
Oh,
this.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
I remember.
It's called CAGI.
The only place made for lefties was the toll booths, because you could just boom and not have to go on. Now there's no more toll booths,
Right.
all spin. So the lefties are it's gone. That's my lecture today, folks.
That
Sorry,
was
does
great.
anyone want to-
No, I wrote it all down.
Excellent.
I'll come up with nice things to say about you.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Don't ask them.
With Pete not going to be at our next couple of meetings, please realize that I will not currently, the way they are, be at the next 2 meetings because I'll be conducting over there. I was wondering if you would consider moving the meeting to earlier in the day,
Ooh.
because there's no reason why we can't do it like at 3 o'clock.
In the morning.
3 in the morning works for me.
Not for me.
Um,
Oh, well, I'll still be up.
then I can go to that and then prepare for the concert,
Okay, I recognize
because we won't have a quorum.
a
Yeah.
quorum is the whole committee. Providing Pete actually does resign, but,
Well, my term is up.
oh, your term is.
Well, that was the next thing I was gonna, that was one of the next thing I was.
Were you notified by the selectmen to check your committee? Because Deb got several vital notices, because 4 people's term were up with the senior center.
Okay,
And she had to let us all know I was one of them, and 3
I
other
don't
people,
have that.
and then people to replace them, and
nothing in the mailbox.
I'm
at
surprised
town.
you didn't get notified, because all the chairman did.
Actually, if it was done by town email, I only look at that every other month.
Oh, okay. Because you would have been notified the 5th, and terms were up.
So your term is up as well.
I guess so, I
Yes.
think, yeah, I
Because
don't,
we were
And
together.
I'm
Right.
going to offer to
yes,
another
I would
term.
like to continue it.
Thank you, we appreciate that.
And I agree with you, I think this is a very good committee, I've enjoyed it, and
We can't have fun, why bother?
yeah. And it's worthwhile.
We really have 4-hour meetings, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm on. So,
Steve,
Um,
I'm sorry, is that,
so
okay,
would 3 o'clock work for you, the 2 of you,
Yeah.
Joe?
which 3 o'clock?
On July 7th, the Monday, it's the same day, but just move it to
In
3.
the
If,
afternoon.
yeah, if this room's not available, can we meet in the patios? Or
Yes,
is this, if there's only 4 of us, we could meet?
we could meet in the past. Oh, we'd have to hardwire to the
Okay,
internet.
I will check.
So, yeah,
Steve
we
will
can in a pinch.
We'll check.
I don't think there's many
You
3 o'clock
okay with that,
meetings, would it be?
I don't know, I would have to
I
look.
don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't think so, not in the summertime.
Yeah,
But I want to cover bases so that when I go to do it.
So this would be for the next.
July and
meetings
August.
of this stuff. Okay.
sounds good to me.
July and August.
And
Yeah.
you're okay, Jeff, if
Yes.
it's Nancy Passios.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, if I have to,
I have to work out.
It'll be daylight.
In the wintertime.
And it's
Okay.
just
School
that
is leaving in
night
July.
when it's dark and icy.
Yes, right. Shouldn't be icy in July. I
No,
think.
it shouldn't.
No, it should be fine. All right, and number two was the fact that Faith was also needed to be re-upped. So what does she need to do that?
Yeah,
Do you need to contact town hall?
You need to inform, town manager if Faith wants to be re-upped.
Town manager,
Yes,
not just the clerk or the chair of the.
no,
select
town
board.
manager,
Oh,
and she's taking in charge of that.
okay.
remember there was someone named Elaine?
Yes, that was
She-
the select board's administrative.
She's gone-
Okay,
she's gone-
person.
But there is someone else in her
Yes.
place.
Well, there was, but
She's gone too.
she's gone and a new person is coming in, I think, July 1st.
Okay, because that was the person seems to me I had
Yeah.
to let
Well,
know.
They changed it.
They've
Town
changed
manager-
the way it's,
The town manager's taking over.
okay.
Oh, good. I love it when things change.
Can I mention something?
Please.
I don't know if you saw it, you were on the email for it, but there were two individuals who were interested in being on the cable committee.
Oh, nice.
I haven't seen that.
But she must have sent it to the town, your town email.
Yeah, I haven't looked at that for a while.
Okay, there were two, I was gonna print it out, but I thought you might
Okay.
talk about it.
Great.
Yeah, so I don't know what the plan is,
Well, they have to put in,
talent
Talent
form, which they
form.
did.
then they have to be interviewed by the select board,
Mhm.
which for me sounds, particularly for this type of committee, would be really handy if at least one of us was there as well.
Yeah,
All right, so you'll check that out?
Sorry, you're telling me.
You'll check out who the two people
Well,
are?
they're also, unless it's changed, they're also supposed to put an application into Steve, into our committee.
well, I think that's what the town manager was doing by sending it to Steve and myself.
Okay,
Yeah,
It meant, did it come to me, do you think?
I didn't take a quick look. I saw Steve Walker, but I
Oh,
didn't see what
okay.
email it was. It could have been the
Would've
town
been
email.
town-
Yeah, okay,
town will
because
use the town.
what we've always done is anyone who applies to other committees, they are asked to come to one of our meetings.
Yes.
See what goes on,
Yeah.
what their credentials
Yeah.
are, whether they wanna go on,
Right,
and then if there had been this way, if there more than the number of open positions, we would make a decision of who we would recommend,
mhm,
and then the committee would either take our recommend
right. the
or
select
not,
board
make their
makes
own,
the
because they're the
decision.
final say.
I remember, your husband was at my first meeting that I came to. Because at the time, each of the selectmen had
Oh,
taken a committee to
Right.
oversee.
We had two, we had select board, we had finance committee.
And so when I went to my first meeting to observe, I think that was like 10 years ago, maybe more. And then when I got to the select board meeting, he spoke for me and said that, he thought,
And were you interviewed by the selectmen?
not interviewed,
No.
but well, yes, I was, I guess you would say. Yes, I had to stand up in front of the select
Right.
board and,
And speaking of committees, Steve, I've emailed the town manager twice about the Comcast
Oh,
contract. I have received no word. What?
I sent you.
Yes, but no word from the town manager to say yes. I did go to town hall to report to, and I told the secretary, and she said, send another email, which I did, and I still haven't heard yes or no. I turned down being on the charter committee because I didn't want it to interfere with the Comcast.
Mhm.
How's that?
Well,
So if you're contacting them about Faith and all that, could you please inform her that I would be I would assume the representative from back on the Comcast?
mhm.
I don't know how she's going to do it, because when a town manager, especially when there's been an interim who made some changes, and then another town manager comes in, which is the permanent one. Some of the time it's a wee bit difficult to follow what.
Yeah, I don't know if it needs to come from you.
My,
Because you're the chairperson to say, we've asked, Steve has volunteered to be the PAC what do you call it?
I'm happy to.
Representative.
liaison representative on the Comcast.
You don't negotiate with
I see.
Comcast.
Okay, well,
I'm
I used the wrong word.
Trying to clear it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not negotiating,
Representative.
but to be on the committee,
Right,
that is. So that our voice can be heard,
Yeah,
exactly.
and we know what's actually going on, because that's where our money comes from,
yeah.
to make sure,
At least for the time being.
yes.
Oh boy. And just if I could get there, I should probably meet with her instead, but which is not a bad thing, but I could drive just that far, maybe.
Or we could pick
It's
you
on
up.
you. Yeah, insurance company.
So I can give you a ride, depending on what day it is at the time.
Actually, even better.
Yeah.
Why
So,
don't we go and meet with?
yes, so why don't you ask her
Okay,
when, and then we can see.
And you can pick me up and I can go to.
Sure, we'll go in with our pitchforks,
Yeah.
Yes.
flaming
Nice
torches.
sight.
I was right there.
hola,
I'm gonna put 2 bolts right here,
yeah.
2 bolts. And wear big cloggy shoes. All right, so why don't, if you do that, and then you can get back to me and,
Yeah.
or you can call me or whatever, we'll
Okay.
arrange. And if she says anytime, then just do a time that's convenient. I'll pick you up,
Appreciate that, thank you.
not a problem.
You know, I live on the Cape now.
I'm expecting to drive a yellow car that doesn't have a roof.
I have an offer from someone in church who says he'll take me to lunch in Buttercup.
Yeah.
So that the car gets a run.
Right. it
And
needs to
I
be
get a
right.
ride in it, and we get some time together.
Yeah, because you do need to use it.
That is
Yeah,
one of the nicest offers. I have another offer from Joe which says, I need a ride, let me know. And that's tremendous as well. So-
same here.
Oh, thank you. I thought you didn't try.
Oh, well, no, I just gave my car to my grandson.
Ah,
And then my granddaughter got it and she totaled it. So, but she's okay.
oh boy.
Anyway.
So,
Back at the ranch, yes.
I'm glad you brought up committee comments.
Do we have any more? Was that?
So those are the big things.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion, oh no, that's not it. Any communications?
The only communications were those 2 emails about the people interested in the committee.
Thank you. I will have a look, I'll try not to do much at the moment, I spend an awful lot of time doing nothing.
That's too bad.
Well, I do Wordle,
Oh, that's pretty good.
doing Wordle, spelling bee.
Can do it today.
Sports.
I did.
Sports connections.
What's your streak?
Oh, I didn't do it yesterday, so
Oh.
much really is.
You know, my streak's about 6, my longest streak, 244.
That was 1,000.
Wow, jeez,
First
good.
thing she does when she gets up.
If I get to it.
Very well, thank you for that.
Hey, so we got to review and okay our minutes. I think they're wonderful.
No communications, okay,
I think
so
the minutes are.
you've never seen them?
They always are.
No, you've never seen them, because the side I saw was the opposite.
Those are the notes, notes from the meeting.
Oh, no, oh,
No.
oh, boy. Did I walk into that one?
What do you
It's just a minor thing.
Oh, I have a very major interest in this.
Yes.
We'll take a measured approach.
Oh, nothing but
Oh, I don't want to miss a beat.
Let's take a rest, okay?
Okay. All right.
Let's do that class. Okay.
So,
Oh, yes, I was going to do that. I make a motion.
Well,
to
I have a
approve,
question about it first.
Oh, no, she can move to do that and then.
Then we can discuss it.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All right,
Discussion. There are spelling errors.
No, nothing.
I'm gonna frame this. Probably not.
Well, I didn't know come out.
It looks nice too.
You know, we can just take June 2nd.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, this is meetings made, yeah. Spelled everyone's name right. I'll show you that, so I'll see the back.
Under the manager's report, you've got the Comcast payment was posted. If you put a financial number in parentheses, it usually means it's negative.
Okay, so should I take the parentheses out?
You should take $444,000 out, not in.
yeah.
I didn't
So
realize
it
that.
doesn't need to be parenthetical.
Okay,
That means it's only $100 less than last quarter, that's good. The simple application.
as amended,
Oh, vendor, bottom of one line,
bottom of,
no, bottom of.
yes, all vendor fare?
Vendor. OR.
Well, I'm not framing this one.
Why not? The back side's upside down.
That's upside down.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, someone's gonna watch this video.
It's becoming a major problem. So. Okay. Studio space, well, there were a couple that I noticed. Okay. That's true.
So for next meeting,
Okay.
we have down to be at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so I'll have to change.
No. Don't change
No,
the
they
name.
can't change this, because it'll be in a new minute.
Right,
Correct.
sorry.
All right,
Yeah, I've had people in meetings who want to correct the minutes to what really happened a month later, which is, they don't seem to understand what the minutes are. Drives me nuts. Meanwhile, the managers.
so we should vote on that.
Oh, I'm sorry, should we, I thought you didn't want to, because the spelling was so poor.
No, Faith and Pete. I just wrote as amended.
Thank
Okay,
you.
as
You've been
amended.
getting out much, have you? I haven't, you're right. Fortunately, I have lots of space at home. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Being unanimous, thank you all.
Hmm.
All right, guess who's up next?
Now I have a comment. I
Uh-oh.
tried to do before, but you told me I had to wait until we voted.
Oh, no, I just said we had to wait until we did discussion.
The motion.
The motion allows us to have a discussion.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You sure?
No, I didn't, I just thought,
I just wanted to talk about this thing that, about the tearing down the Passios building. Since that was voted to do that, did they have any kind of timeline set up for that?
I was gonna talk about that. The first phase is not to tear it down, it's to block it off. They're gonna block off a wing
And winterize it.
and
We'll have no power. Or...
no power, no water, no heat,
Okay,
no
because-
nothing.
I don't know if you listened to it, but the talking baseball on Tuesday, I said this may be our last meeting from this room.
No, one more, actually maybe two,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know where we was going.
Hmm.
Sure.
yeah, I'll talk about that.
all right.
Okay, manager's monthly report, if you'd be so
Okay.
kind.
This is Joe Toll speaking. Some of the activities this month and upcoming activities are, the first thing is we reviewed space at the TC Passios for studio move in early August. They're planning on shutting down that wing that we're in sometime after August 1st. I didn't get an exact date, but the school is going to be moving out of their offices and they are going to move us over to another wing. So we Eric Foster, myself, and Steve Walker went with the facility manager to look at the different options we had, and we found a classroom that was acceptable. We still don't have storage for our set equipment. I'm going to be talking to the facilities director about possibly getting another room nearby. He offered us a room that was way down the hall, but that's not going to work well for us. So I'm working on that right now.
Could I just make the short comment as I was there? We really wanted 2 classrooms together because this looks like it's fairly long term, but they are absolutely refusing to cut a door between 2 of the classrooms because of asbestos, lead paint, things like that. Because that would have been the best. We presently have that, not useful anymore. So we're using 1.5 classrooms right now.
Right.
But they will not. He has, we're going to talk about his budget and tell me things.
His budget?
Yeah. Well, you don't know what his budget is?
Oh, he mentioned it.
75,000.
75,000, right.
That's not just moving us. That's winterizing that wing and closing it.
Right.
Which means hardly anything. Sorry, just.
So access to the new studio would have to be back by the front door then.
It's going to be near the, closer to the front door, yeah.
You can't get in the back door. Right?
No, but there is a side door there
Well,
near the playground.
You can come in by the food pantry. We're still coming through that back door.
You can come in through that door.
And then come straight along. You couldn't come through any of the back doors.
That's what we've been using.
Yeah.
Every back door.
Right.
Are you talking the one by the gym, the cafeteria back door? Or are you talking to the back door way?
All the way at the end. That's
Right.
that's where
They're blocking that.
that's where the 2 shows have been filmed.
Right, but they're moving that afterwards. Okay.
Yeah, there's a side door that looks directly onto the playground next door, next to the senior center, the adult activity center.
Joe, how close to the,
Because
I know it can
all
be
the story time
noisy.
people are gonna have to know that too.
Right, right. But this will happen in August, so we have June and July to let them know.
I know it can get pretty noisy there in the afternoons and stuff. You know, the after school program and everything. Are you close to that or I'm
They're
trying to
gone.
picture? Oh, they're gone?
The whole school department is leaving the building
Where are they going?
to the schools. I believe the superintendent is going to the elementary school, and then all the activity things are going to the different buildings.
Okay.
I believe he mentioned that there was going to be some kind of summer program in there.
In the gym.
Okay,
Well,
but
was
adjacent
4
to
classrooms.
our,
Or was it 4 classrooms?
And not only that,
Okay.
they just want them for 6 or 8 weeks in the summer, but they want them kept ready for them for the whole year. And we thought it was not a very reasonable use of space.
Okay.
But we don't necessarily know how to deal with that. But after just my consideration, but I'm sure Joe would agree, we've got to do better than 1 classroom. We're much more valuable.
Well,
Yeah.
how much space do we have right now? I thought we had 1
900 square feet.
classroom.
Well, we have 1.5. We're using the neighboring classroom, which does have a door to it. We're using half of that, but that's not official.
No, but currently where we are at the current,
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
that's more than 1 classroom?
No, there's a door to the adjacent
Oh,
classroom.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
And we're using part of that.
Oh, okay.
But that's a small room. There's no room for audience in there.
No, there isn't.
Well, the part of the problem is they're refusing to cut the walls. Given his budget, I'm not surprised because if you have to have lead or asbestos remediation,
Yeah,
just add a 0 to what the original cost
Okay.
was.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh, yeah.
about what you pay. Okay, thank you, Joe, sorry to.
That's okay.
And this is still a stopgap though,
Yes,
because this new room is not gonna be a permanent sleeping room.
no,
So at some point, we've still got to discuss where they're bound, where we're gonna end up.
right,
And
right.
hopefully someplace that is excellent,
yeah,
because I say it again, by 2040, we're gonna be primo. Have to be.
right. Right. Next thing is, I'll be starting work on the FY 27 budget and the annual report per the town manager's request. She wanted the department heads to start thinking about their budgets because last year was such a frenzied year with the budgets that the capital planning committee is going to get together sooner than they normally do. The finance committee is going to start considering FY 27 budgets sooner than they usually do. So, and the annual report is something separate. She just suggested we get that done in July instead of the normal February timeframe, which it
That
still,
makes more sense.
it does, it
Plus it's
does.
a quiet time.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So those are two things that I have to start working on. And really our budget isn't terribly difficult to manage because the only thing is because we're covering a lot more meetings and events. I have to calculate the hours of the videographers and that's going to go up. So I have to do that. And, but the rest of it is pretty cut and dry. Any questions? Eric is putting together a surplus list of equipment per the town manager's request. They're getting rid of all their old equipment and furniture and things they don't need. She's putting it on the state bid list. And she wanted to know if we had anything, and Eric's putting a list together so we can get rid of any excess equipment
Do we have much?
or
I
obsolete.
know. Do you have it?
No, I don't think we do. Yeah.
Do we have access to that before it goes out if we want a table or two or things like that? So if we argue we need the second classroom and actually get it,
Yeah,
it would be kind of handy if there's a bunch of tables and chairs that we can put it in there, storage, shelving, whatever. I'm just asking if.
well, the
Living room stuff.
Council on Aging is getting rid of a lot of furniture items.
Yeah,
Are they worth looking at?
we have not been consulted, there's a little conflict over there.
Oh,
We have
okay.
a new,
Oh,
we
good.
have a new director over there,
Oh, do you?
there's some disputes.
Okay,
Enough said on it.
yeah. So, yes, I'm meeting with them on Wednesday with the town manager for the
Okay.
department head meeting. And I can ask her,
Mhm.
yeah, I can find out from her. Right now we're preparing to cover the high school graduation. Not sure if it's gonna be indoors or outdoors. Looks like it could be indoors.
It's on a Saturday, right?
Yes, this Saturday.
The 12th wet Saturday of the year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You covering the honors assembly too?
No. No, when is that?
It's Thursday,
Thursday night?
yes.
I could probably get a videographer there. Thursday night. And what is it? Honors?
It's the honors assembly.
What did they do?
Singing, dance.
No, 50% scholarships, like I'm giving one standby, was giving my name. All gold medals. A lot of, all honors.
Yeah.
Kids get. I've done a graduation, we've done a special.
Yeah.
Scholarships too?
Yes.
Yeah, they do all the scholarships.
What time is it on Thursday and where?
I think I'm way out, I'll ask Deb.
Okay.
It's either 6 or 7.
Okay, I'll see if I have someone covering FinCon Thursday and another thing on Thursday, but if I can find an available videographer,
Great.
which I should be able
I
to.
think they like.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. I will do that. So we'll be covering the graduation, which is a 4-camera shoot. Then we have the police and fire memorial coming up, the baccalaureate is coming up tomorrow night. Those are just a few of the things this month. There's going to be an accounts payable training at the town hall in June. I'm not going to be there, but we're going to record it per the town manager's request. We covered all of the superintendent interviews and special school committee meetings in May, and that was a lot. But John Dextra's covered him and he did a fantastic job.
He did.
He really did. Right now we're planning the new Talk of the Town. I mentioned this in previous meetings, but the host fell through. But we're going to be planning it this month with Tom Alonso, who's almost on board, close to being on board to doing the show. So we're hoping that goes well. Replace some equipment. Our AirTech headset, which is the headset for the director when we're doing a multi-camera shoot, that went bad, so we had to replace that, and a gooseneck microphone at town hall. May programs that we covered: spring health update, vendor fair, Are You Smarter Than a Sixth Grader, Memorial Day ceremony, cruise night, and the LHS spring chorus and band concert. At the end of this month, I'll be backing up the Castus so I can clean out the system. Everything from FY25 will go into a backup, and we'll do the maintenance on the Castus.
Will that be backed up to is it DAS or whatever it's called? We've got a server.
Yeah, not that one.
It's not that we're using that one?
No, because we have no internet in the studio.
Okay.
We want to use it.
Hmm.
Yeah, we need internet. And when we reviewed the room situation at TCP, he said we would get internet.
Oh, yeah.
So we should be using that soon.
And before we move. Not while we move.
That's all I have. I'm on vacation the 3rd week of June, and Eric is on vacation the last week of June.
Did you want to go over your report?
Yeah, oh yes, sorry.
So there's usually how much money we have.
There is nothing notable on the trial balance. As I did not receive, well, it's the Comcast payment from May has not been posted yet, so that's not on there. And as soon as it's posted, I could always send that out to you, this specific trial balance sheet.
So our current balance is $1,037,960.51.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And after the town financial report is the program analysis. It's a little disappointing. We only have 69 total programs. So far this year. Last year, we came in at 119 for the full year. So we're quite far behind. We are 73% locally produced, but total number is down quite a bit. And I really believe it's all the meetings that we've been covering.
Oh,
And
yes.
maybe not, not a lot of produced program. And the calendars are attached. I don't have the Talking Baseball date for June. Do you have
Haven't
it?
said it.
Okay, you haven't
Maybe
decided.
last week sometime. It depends on what Dan's doing. So we usually set it a couple weeks. I'll let you know.
Okay,
But we get three moving parts: my health, Dan's availability, and Jason's availability. So we'll set it up.
yeah, okay.
It's
And what is with the red hair?
did you hear my comment?
I didn't watch it. I just saw him with red hair.
Jason, you just escaped from a forest fire. Dyes his hair sometimes.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't for a
It
part.
goes with the character he's playing now, this
Oh.
Sullivan for Beer, that's now the hit of the show around town.
Yeah, yeah,
Such a funny character.
that's great.
It's hard for me to do it because I have damn headaches. And but I've been able to get through it. I
Yeah,
don't know. I may have to postpone July if I'm one-handed. I don't know how to work.
yeah.
But is it gonna keep going August and then the new studio will be set up?
We're going to set it up close to the 1st of August as we can.
Okay, because we don't do these until the very end of the month.
Right, I think it looks like you'll be okay for the end of the month.
Could we change that to, you will be all right for the end of the month? Because we need to do it and make it happen. So just a slight change.
Okay. You will be all set for the end of the month.
I'm sorry, but we have a position we should take.
Actually, I'd like to say on here, Dan Senator does a phenomenal job of that show.
Yeah,
He adds things on his own. He's able to move things around, different pictures and videos, and he's really been. Plus, he knows baseball, so he knows exactly what to look for.
yeah,
We found out we talked about somebody. Well, I'm not talking about Pete Rose. He found the picture of the Wheaties box with Pete Rose on it. When we talked, stuck that in. So he's truly done a lot to amplify it.
Good.
yeah.
And John Dexter provides us our laugh track. Everything Jason says, he finds hysterical. We did have a couple of visitors, show before last that laughed out loud. It was kind of funny. You could hear him make a joke at somebody actually live, like they were listening to it.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm hoping maybe get a few people to come in and have enough live audience when we do it.
That would be great.
Because it doesn't bother us.
Yeah.
We'll try.
Okay.
It's been fun.
Well, that's all I have. If anybody has any more questions.
That included the studio space update, which is the next item on the agenda.
Yes.
So thank you, Joe, for covering two things with one sweep. That was good. I have no update on the enterprise fund investment. And Joe and I are going to try and find out if it's being properly reported in our numbers. Because really, we can't find it the way we think we should be able to. And that'll, if it is not in there correctly, that'll help us putting our budget numbers together. Because it will all be the same basis. So we should have one for the end of June, which means we don't get it till July. So
Right.
that'll be the next one. Okay, the next meeting is 6 o'clock at
July 7th. So I
3
will
o'clock.
I think we need to change it to 3 o'clock. And then I will check the
July-
library on the way out.
7?
So,
Oh, okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I thought it was the 2nd.
that's
Today.
June. That's today.
That's today. Sorry.
No, that's
Yeah.
okay, please. And you know what I will do? Yeah, because that's my first concert. July 7th. Yep, July 7th, yep. because conducting July 3rd. That's Thursday.
Ooh,
It's a busy season. So I would move to adjourn.
and I second, but you don't need a second. I should
Yes, you
know
do.
this. Oh,
It depends which book you read. So
okay, whatever, I'll second it.
we'll use the English parliamentary book. this time. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you,
Unanimous.
Pat.
Thank you, Pete.
I don't want to see you go.